Ever wonder if Apple is about to hit us with another price jump? I did what any rational tech fan would do. I asked a Magic 8-Ball about the iPhone 18 Pro series. The answer floated up from the bottom like it knew something we didn't. Signs point to yes. But here's the twist. The newest leaks suggest Apple might actually do the opposite, at least where the base models are concerned. Today, we're breaking down a fresh iPhone 18 Pro pricing leak, what aggressive pricing really means in Apple speak, why two major analysts are suddenly saying the same thing, and how Apple could still make more money without raising the starting price. And yes, we're also talking about the rumored 2TB iPhone 18 Pro Max and the foldable iPhone that could become the most expensive iPhone ever. Let's get into it. First, the backdrop matters, because pricing leaks don't happen in a vacuum. Component costs have been under pressure, especially memory and storage. At the same time, iPhone demand is still strong, and Apple reportedly posted record iPhone sales for a March quarter with the iPhone 17 lineup. That's exactly the kind of momentum Apple never wants to interrupt, because once the upgrade cycle is rolling, the easiest move is to keep the road smooth and avoid anything that gives buyers a reason to wait. And according to a new research note, Apple's plan for the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max is simple: keep that momentum going. A well-known equity analyst, Jeff Pugh, says Apple is preparing an aggressive pricing strategy for the iPhone 18 Pro series, specifically for the base configurations. Now, aggressive is one of those words that can sound scary if you assume it means aggressively expensive. But in this context, it appears to mean Apple wants the starting price to feel competitive and compelling, especially in a market where flagship phones are already pushing psychological limits. Because let's be honest, a lot of people want a Pro iPhone, but not everyone wants to feel like they're getting punished for buying one. And here's where it gets more interesting. Jeff Pugh's report lines up with earlier comments from respected Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo. Kuo has also suggested Apple is working to keep iPhone 18 pricing in line with the iPhone 17 series. That alignment matters. One analyst can be wrong. Two independent analysts pointing in the same direction? That doesn't guarantee anything, but it does raise the odds that Apple is at least aiming for price stability. So if both analysts are right, we could see Apple hold the line on starting prices. That would put the iPhone 18 Pro price around $1,099 to start, and the iPhone 18 Pro Max price around $1,199 for the base model. That's the headline. But it's not the whole story, because Apple doesn't actually need to raise the base price to raise the average price people pay. Apple's been perfecting this playbook for years. Keep the starting at number attractive enough to pull people in, then make the upgrades, storage, premium configurations, and higher tier models feel like the smart choice once you're already mentally committed. Think about how most people buy iPhones. They don't just pick the cheapest one. They start with a model they want, then they think about storage. Then they think about how long they'll keep it. Then they think about photos, videos, apps, and whether 128 GB or 256 GB is enough. And suddenly, a base price that looked manageable turns into a higher configuration that feels safer for the long run. That's where Apple can win, even if the iPhone 18 Pro base model stays the same. Here's the most likely play. Maintain the same base price, then increase the pricing spread between storage tiers or nudge more buyers into higher storage models by making the entry option feel less practical. In other words, Apple keeps the starting at number attractive in marketing, then earns more from customers who want extra capacity, and that connects perfectly with another rumor. Apple may introduce a $2TB storage option for the iPhone 18 Pro Max for the first time. A 2TB iPhone would be a huge headline on its own. It's not just about bragging rights. There's a real audience for it. Pro Max buyers are often the ones recording tons of video, capturing ProRes files, shooting in 4K and beyond, editing on device, storing massive photo libraries, downloading huge games, and treating their iPhone like a pocket computer. Add AI features that may rely on local storage and caching, and storage becomes even more important. So why would Apple do this now? The leaks point to a possible shift toward quad-level, cell or QLC flash storage. In simple terms, QLC can store more bits per cell, meaning it can be denser and potentially cheaper per gigabyte than other flash solutions. That doesn't automatically mean it's perfect. There can be trade-offs in endurance and speed depending on implementation. But Apple is famous for controlling the user experience. If Apple can manage performance with controllers, caching, and optimization, a move like this could make larger storage tiers more practical for Apple to ship. And here's the key point. Even if Apple can source higher capacity storage more efficiently, that doesn't mean Apple will pass the savings to you. Apple could offer a 2TB iPhone 18 Pro Max, price it at a premium, and watch a segment of power users happily pay for it, while a larger number of buyers get nudged toward 512GB or 1TB because it feels like the sweet spot. That's how average selling price rises without the base price changing. So yes, the iPhone 18 Pro could start at the same price and still end up being a more expensive purchase for many people, depending on how Apple structures those storage tiers. Now let's zoom out, because Apple's iPhone roadmap over the next few years is shaping up to be unusual, and that matters for pricing strategy too. The standard iPhone 18 and a rumored iPhone 18 Air model reportedly might not arrive at the same time as the Pro models. Some leaks suggest those non-Pro models could land later, potentially in spring 2027, while Apple keeps the fall spotlight focused on the Pro lineup and something even bigger. And that something bigger could be Apple's first foldable iPhone. Yes, the foldable iPhone is once again rumored to appear alongside the iPhone 18 Pro models, and if it happens, it could instantly become Apple's most premium and most expensive iPhone category. Depending on which leak you believe, the foldable iPhone price could start anywhere from around $2,000 to $2,400. That pricing would place it in ultra-premium territory and clearly above the Pro Max. And it's important to understand what that does for Apple's lineup. Even if Apple keeps the iPhone 18 Pro price stable, a $2,000 to $2,400 foldable iPhone creates a new top tier. That changes how everything below it feels. A $1,199 Pro Max can suddenly look reasonable next to a $2,399 foldable. That's classic anchoring, a pricing psychology move that makes your expensive products feel cheaper by introducing something even more expensive. But the real selling point might not just be the fold, it's the display. One of the biggest complaints about foldable phones has always been the crease, the visible line where the screen bends. It's not just cosmetic, it can affect how content looks and how premium the device feels. But the latest rumors suggest Apple is pushing for a crease-free or near crease-free internal display. If Apple actually delivers a foldable that looks like a single uninterrupted panel when open, that's a major achievement. It would be the kind of Apple-quality foldable moment that could move the category forward and give Apple a strong justification for premium pricing. And if Apple enters the foldable market the way it entered tablets, watches, and earbuds, by showing up later but aiming to feel more refined, then the foldable iPhone could become the status symbol device of the year it launches. So while Apple might keep iPhone 18 Pro pricing aggressive at the entry level, it could simultaneously introduce a new halo product, the foldable iPhone, to capture high-end buyers who want the newest form factor no matter the cost. That's the strategy in a nutshell. Keep the base iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max prices steady to protect upgrade momentum, expand storage options like 2TB to drive higher average selling prices, and launch an ultra-premium foldable iPhone to push the ceiling of what an iPhone can cost. Now, let's talk about why Apple might be motivated to do this, even if component prices are rising. Apple's iPhone business isn't just about hardware margins anymore. It's also about ecosystem momentum, services, subscriptions, App Store spending, iCloud storage plans, AppleCare, accessories, and upgrades. The more iPhones Apple sells, the more people are inside the ecosystem and paying monthly for things tied to that device.